Hi there, my name's Greg Harradine, I'm a composer, and in this video I'm going to discuss why I think the album Chromakopia by Tyler the Creator is truly a masterclass in musical expression. This is episode 17 in my Good Art, Bad Art series, where I discuss different songs, albums, compositions, even books, and in 8 minutes exactly, with no edits, just one take, I share my view and discuss is it good art or is it bad art. So please join me, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think. I've just listened, on today, the day of its release, I've just listened to Tyler's new album, Chromakopia, and isn't it just fantastic? I mean, it really is a journey. And I think, unlike many people, he really can, have a full sort of arc, a full character arc throughout the album, from being sort of innocent, naive, from being very vulnerable, through to the opposite, confidence, swagger, So it's got something for everybody, really. But one of the main things I love is his huge attention to detail and how the songs are almost through composed. That means if something's through composed, the music keeps changing. It's not just sections repeated, A section, B section, A section, B section. The music keeps changing. Now, it's not quite through composed because, yes, there are verses and choruses, of course. But if you listen to what's going on in the background, the instruments, the many, many, many vocals, it's always shifting. It's always the musical backdrop is always shifting. Which is not that common. It's all too easy, especially with technology, just to copy and paste musical sections, and lots of artists do it. But this is a very maximalist approach, that Tyler has, and all for the better. There's you can go back. I've only listened to the album once because I wanted to get this out straight away, but I'm sure as I go back again and again, there'll be more and more to notice. Just like, great books, when you return to them, there's huge details you might have missed the first read through, or, stuff going on between the lines, subtext or allusions. Or in great paintings, there's often hidden details. There's so much going on in the production of this album, musically speaking. That's why I say it's a masterclass in musical expression. And even though it's maximalist, it's not overdone. It somehow works, And vocally, there's all sorts happening. You get everything from, obviously, rap, you get whispered vocals, shouts, you get grunts, you get singing, some of which you get beautiful vocal harmonies. There's a number of other vocalists and rappers on this album. But then you get sort of, sometimes Tyler does his own singing, and you get these very vulnerable falsetto vocal lines, which aren't even perfectly in tune, but just adds to their humanity. Anyway, I sound excited about the music on this album, which I am. And then, of course, the lyrical content. From what I can gather on the first listen, it's about many things, but obviously it's very personal, very autobiographical, and it has themes of, being true to yourself, trying to live your own life despite criticism. Obviously, Tyler's dealt with certain pushback against his, same-sex relationships he may have had in the past, and he delves more deeply into that on this album. He delves into the question of whether or not to have children. He sort of says he doesn't want to have kids, but he's a man in his early 30s. And it's often a time when this question of children comes into your life. I'm 36 now. I do have 3 kids, but in my early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, my wife and I were debating, do we have kids or not? And it's an important question, and that features largely on this album, actually, in the lyrical content. And yes, it's questing, there's questioning, but there's lots of buoyancy as well as some really, soul searching, lots of soul searching. But there's also optimism there too, for sure. Yes, each track segues into the next really wonderfully. And yeah, my attention was just totally there. Really, almost, not 100% of the time. That would, no album can do that, perhaps, or can it? But 90% of the time, my attention was absolutely there. God, there's just so much good music on there. Great synth lines, bass lines, which just keep shifting and changing. Wow. Tyler taught himself piano in his teens. And yeah, he has a real ear for beautiful, beautiful melodies. And again, they keep shifting. He doesn't often, well, of course, every song has certain riffs or certain taglines that go round and round and again. But often you hear just beautiful synth line after synth line, melody after melody that keeps changing, and that's not easy to do. Believe me, not easy to do at all. What do you think of Chromakopia? Yeah, I'm definitely going to listen again straight away as soon as I finish this video. I like how in the production, even though there's so much going on, there's lots of clarity. Yeah, I feel like there's a bit of a vogue in production these days for having too much reverb and like too many synths that are just swirl into one big kind of background mush of reverb and echo in a lot of pop music. But here, even though there's loads going on, there's a lot of clarity. You can hear what's going on, even when there's 10, 12, 14, 16 different things happening at once. Remarkable. And yes, we get the synths, but we get real piano, we get real guitar, obviously tons and tons of vocals, which are not overly, which are not auto-tuned. There is some auto-tune, but not much, or if there is, it's done very well. There's lots of, you can hear when the vocals are slightly out of tune. I would posit that Tyler is not the world's best singer. I'm sure he would admit that possibly himself, or would he? I don't really know. But I don't think he's the world's best singer, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because his musical personality shines through and his artistry shines through, and his commitment to his music shines through. And that's what it's all about, really. So I thought it was a really fantastic album. It's made my day, actually. But yes, if you like these videos, please subscribe. Let me know what I should cover next on my next edition of Good Art, Bad Art. I like to cover brand new albums, as you can see, but also much older stuff too. Any genre at all. Let me know what I should talk about. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Greg Harradine, and go and listen to Chromakopia. That's an order. See you next time.